Hello, this is Don O'Malley with Don's Breakfast Cereal Show. We're showing The Monster and the Ape, chapters 6 through 10. Now, this stars Robert Lowery, who was also Batman. He was also in The Mark of Zorro, The Mummy's Ghost, and Dangerous Passage. He was also in The Adventures of Superman with George Reeves. So that was not the first time both of them played together in a show. So you actually had Batman and Superman in that show. They were in Propaganda, a VD movie for the U.S. Army back in the day. So here's chapters 6 through 10. Thanks for showing up.
Ernst, the demented scientist, disguises himself and tricks Ken Morgan and Professor Arnold into searching an abandoned quarry for a meteorite, the source of the extremely rare Metalogen.
When I made my earlier tests here, I detected traces of a meteorite underneath that overhang of rock.
The needle doesn't seem to show any reaction.
I forgot the little antennae that fits into the socket. I'll get it out of the car.
Push! Push! Hey! Look out, Professor!
You better sit down here, Ken. Let me have a look at that ankle.
It's all right, I just twisted it a little.
I really feel responsible for this, gentleman. I should never have brought you to this place.
Oh, don't blame yourself, Doctor. The avalanche had nothing to do with your bringing us here.
Forget it, Draper. Let's go on with a demonstration of your detector.
Good idea. This is the antenna I went back to the car for. The movement of the needle indicates the presence of meteorite minerals. However, the slowness of the movement indicates that the quantity of such minerals is extremely minute.
What would happen if Metalogen, for instance, were present in larger quantities?
In that case, the needle will move more violently, perhaps even be erratic.
I see.
I'm satisfied your detective will do the work. I suggest we go back to our place and sign the agreement with the doctor.
That's all right with me. If this instrument can help us locate a commercial amount of Metalogen, we're ahead. If not, what can we lose?
You know, Morgan, I'm beginning to give you credit for a lot more brains than I did at first.
Coming from you, Draper, that's quite a compliment.
Come on, boy. Come on, Thor. Come here. Come here, boy.
your little boy's asthma. The vet said he'd be as good as new. All right, Thor, stop, Thor, wait, wait.
I ain't scared of you no more, Mr. Rabbit. I made my mind up to that this morning. Look here, Mr. Rabbit. I'm gonna get that soap and ain't nothing you can do about it. Take it easy now. You know me and you is friends, remember? Mr. Cannon? Mr. Cannon?
What's the trouble, Flash?
That rabbit's got my soap on him and he won't give it back to me.
All you need's a little confidence.
I've got a little enough now. If I had any less, I wouldn't be working here.
See? Nothing to be afraid of.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I guess that does it, Dr. Draper. Is that contraption over there your famous Metalogen Man?
That's right.
I'd like to show you how it works, but unfortunately, that's not possible right now.
If it doesn't work, why did you give it all that publicity?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with the robot itself. Only we don't have the proper control unit with which to operate it.
I don't understand.
It's quite simple. That unit was stolen from us by that madman, Ernst.
The more you tell me about this Professor Ernst, the more I'm inclined to believe he must be a very brilliant man.
Brilliant, yes. But an arch-fiend and a criminal.
Why are you in such desperate need of metalogen to make this contraption work?
Well, it's the essential element in the robot as well as the control unit. On the theory of interradiation.
Sound scientific principle? I'd like to take a look at the metalogen in this thing.
It's all right with me. Do you mind getting the disc again, please?
Not at all.
Well, this is my daughter, Babs, Dr. Draper.
I'm delighted to know you, Dr. Draper.
I'm sorry I can't say the same thing about meeting you.
I don't understand.
Women have an unhappy faculty of upsetting men's plans. Personally, I wouldn't have it around my workshop.
Oh, Babs has been a great help to us. In fact, she's responsible for my having contacted you. Well, thanks, Ken.
I presume this disc carries energy waves to a stepper transformer on the inside of the robot?
That's exactly right. Here, I'll show you. That's all there is to it.
Well, let's not waste any more time on that then. I'll get my detector, then Morgan and I can start out on our search.
Nothing can suit me better.
That man's the most eccentric person I've ever met.
I'm inclined to think you're right, dear.
Hello, Flint. Hello, Flint.
This is Flint, boss.
Take the metalogen tube out of the robot control unit. Then you and Butler rush it over to Dawson's paint factory. So Draper's detector will work.
What do you want us to do after that?
Stay there. Wait until I contact you later.
Okay, boss.
Any luck yet?
There's nothing here in this part of the town. Suppose we try the industrial neighborhood.
Suits me. Look that needle jump? Why, it's going wild.
That doesn't necessarily indicate the presence of meteorite matter.
Are you kidding? You yourself explained how your detector works.
So I did. But look around here, Morgan. This is a manufacturing neighborhood with all sorts of electrical machinery in full operation. That undoubtedly explains this instrument's unusual reaction.
In other words, you're admitting that this machine isn't worth a continental.
I'm admitting nothing of the kind. I merely feel that we should have to look elsewhere.
And where do you suggest we look now, my good friend?
I'm leaving that entirely up to you. Everything worked out exactly as I planned. Get that Metalogen tube back to my workshop. Now you wait there. I'll put it back in the control unit myself.
So you think Dr. Draper deliberately lied to you about the reaction of his detector?
I'm convinced of it.
Why should he? He's practically our partner.
I don't know what his motive may be, but I do know I'd give anything to get a hold of that detector and go back to that paint factory.
Well, you've been working rather late tonight, haven't you, Doctor?
Time is of no importance. You yourself should know that. I'm not going straight to my hotel, and I don't want to leave the detector upstairs unguarded. I thought you might have a safe or a vault.
Oh, I will gladly take care of it for you, Doctor.
Well, see that you do. If anything should happen to it, I'd never forgive you. Good night.
Good night, Doctor.
What could be sweeter?
Do you mean you're going to borrow it now?
I may never get another chance. Wake up, Flash. We're going for a ride.
Oh, please don't take me for a ride, mister. I ain't done nothing.
Take it easy, Flash.
Oh, excuse me, sir. I must have been dreaming.
First, we'll take the professor and Miss Babs home, then you and I are going to do a little sleuthing on the other side of town.
Yes.
I knew that Draper was lying.
What does that thing mean, jumping around like that?
It means that you and I are pretty good detectives, Flash. I'm gonna take a look around the outside of this place. You stay here in the car and wait.
Yes, sir. I'll stay in the car, but I won't guarantee you the car will stay here.
And it better stay here.
Get out of that car. Oh. Right now I'm scared, but about in half a second, I'm gonna get mad, brother. When I get mad,
Flash, you know...
Will Ernst succeed in his fiendish plan to steal the Metalogen Man? Will Thor, the ape, revert to his killer instincts? Don't fail to see A Scream in the Night, the 7th exciting episode of The Monster and the Ape, at this theater next week. Ken, who is opposed to the man who calls himself Dr. Draper, decides to look for the stolen Metalogen alone. The search leads him to a paint factory, which is shut down for the duration.
Mr. Ken, how come this here rabbit is at this place when I know we left him at the laboratory?
You can thank Ernst for this. Now let's get this robot out of here and call the fire department.
Don't make sense to me saving this here rabbit when he just tried to track you down and dispose of it indefinitely.
And there's no time to argue. Let's get out of here before the whole building goes up in flames.
So, you two bungled again.
Not us. You're the one that messed up everything.
How dare you make such a statement?
Well, it's the truth. If you hadn't sent the robot over there to interfere, Morgan wouldn't be alive to tell the tale.
How do you figure that out?
Butler had him trapped, and I started a fire which would have left no trace of him.
That's right. He tried to throw me in the fire. We had to take a powder out of there to save our hides.
Well, maybe it was my fault. I should have warned you in advance.
And that's all there is, except that by the time Flash and I got the Metalogen Man into the back of the car, the fire department arrived and put out the blaze.
Getting the robot out of here and using it to attack you must be the work of Ernst.
There's no question you're right, my dear. But there's one big point that puzzles me.
You mean how Ernst knew we were going out to that place last night?
Precisely. I'd hate to suspect Dr. Draper of being involved in this.
Shh. Careful.
Well, if we're going to continue our search for a meteorite, we'd better get started. I can't afford to waste any more time than necessary on this project.
It's our time you've been wasting. The question is why?
I don't like your tone of voice, Morgan.
I'll be glad to change it. Just as soon as you explain why you misled me about there being no meteoric substance near the paint factory.
Why are you so positive there is?
I borrowed your detector and went back there last night.
You took my property without permission?
Yes, and I proved to my satisfaction that you lied to me. Your detector clearly indicated the presence of metalogen in some form.
That's all the impertinence I intend to take from this young upstart. There's your agreement. Null and void.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Let's not be too hasty, Doctor. I'm sure we can iron everything out to our mutual satisfaction.
It's no use arguing. I'm through. Just give me back my detector, and I'm on my way to Marshallton. Well, where is it?
Right over here.
Why, you've ruined it.
It happened accidentally, Doctor, I assure you.
I'm sure it isn't seriously damaged.
It's absolutely no use to me now, and you can keep it. I'm going to sue for this outrage.
Well, that upsets all our careful planning. I can't blame Dr. Draper for being offended. You took entirely too much upon yourself without his authorization.
It won't do any good to blame Ken, Dad. It's done, and we have to make the best of it.
I'm sorry, Professor. Maybe I shouldn't have borrowed the detector without his permission, but I'm not worried about him suing us. I'm sure this can be easily repaired. And if it'll help us locate some metalogen, we'll still give Draper his share. Agreement or no agreement?
Ken is right, Dad. You'll see.
I hope so.
You certainly handled that situation nicely. But it's too bad you had to leave the detector there.
What do we need it for? If Morgan really discovered a meteorite near that paint factory, all we have to do is dig for it, make sure that he doesn't get there before us.
How are we going to do that?
If you remember, a long time ago, the city started to bore a new sewer tunnel into that neighborhood.
Yeah, but they ran into a hard rock formation and had to change its course.
Exactly. And that hard rock formation is actually the meteorite.
Maybe you're right. But how can we dig it out when the city's powerful equipment couldn't even budget?
We don't have to. We let the Metalogen Man do it for us.
Now we'll see how this reacts to the metalogen in this disc.
I have my fingers crossed.
No, it's beyond repair.
There's only one way out of our difficulty. I'll run over to the hotel and try to square things with Draper.
Yeah, as likely as not, he's checked out of there by now.
Well, in that case, I'll run up to Marshalltown and talk to him in his lab.
That's the thing to do, Ken.
Come in.
Pardon me, I'd like to see Dr. Draper.
I'm sorry, but Dr. Draper's in the Bayview Hospital.
Since when? I saw him only a few hours ago.
You must be mistaken. He's been on the verge of death for several days.
That can't be.
Don't tell me, mister. I called the ambulance myself. Somebody attacked him here and fractured his skull.
Is he a medium-sized, bald-headed man with a heavy beard and thick glasses?
That's right.
Do you think they'd let me see him at the hospital?
Well, he just regained consciousness. I can't say if they'd allow anyone to visit him.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Remember, you can only stay a moment, and don't say anything to excite him.
Right.
Someone to see you, Dr. Draper.
My name is Ken Morgan. I'm associated with Professor Arnold of the Bainbridge Laboratories.
I'm glad you came, young man. I had a date with your colleague to demonstrate my detector before that lunatic attacked me.
Yes, I just found out about that. I have an idea who it might be, but I haven't any proof.
Go to my office, find a motion picture camera, have the film developed, and you'll have your proof.
Do you mean to say the police haven't found out about this?
Not yet. You tell them for me.
I'm sorry, but I'll have to ask you to leave now.
Thank you, Doctor, and a speedy recovery.
Now, you
You just take it easy now and stay up there in your hutch. One of these days, I'm gonna have you doing my work, and I'll be sitting up there on the throne.
This is a stick-up, mister. One false move and I'll drill you.
I won't move, sir. No, sir, not me.
Now walk straight ahead.
Straight ahead?
Further.
Further?
Further.
Oh, further.
Further.
Now, look here, mister. I can't go through these here walls. Or can I?
Do as I say or else.
Oh, what I'd give to be a ghost.
You know who I am?
No, son, I don't want to get acquainted.
I'm the killer. The killer!
That's what I thought you said.
The Killer is a crime production. See it at your local theater.
Flash, what's the matter?
Are you laying down on the job again, Flash?
I was dead. I can hear the music of the angels.
You were listening to the radio. We heard that crime program as we drove over.
You know, it's a crime going around scaring people half to death.
Well, Mr. Morgan telephoned us at the house saying he was back in town for us to meet him here.
Yes, right this way. I want to show you something. He hung those things there early this morning, but he didn't say what kind of picture he's going to show.
Good morning.
Well, what's this all about, Ken?
Yes, what's all the mystery?
You no doubt recall how upset you were when I had that run-in with Dr. Draper.
I only questioned the wisdom of antagonizing a man of his reputation and standing.
The reputation and standing of the real Dr. Draper is above suspicion.
The real Dr. Draper?
Yes. Now, if you'll give me just a moment, I'll put this film in the projector, and I promise you a surprise. Flash, will you close the blinds, please?
Yes, sir. It's been a long time since I've seen a moving picture.
Turn that radio off, too, Flash.
Yeah. Now, hold your breath, folks.
Just one thing more, Doctor. In case your deal with Arnold doesn't go through, where in Harrisville can I contact you?
At the Standard Hotel. Now get out.
Thank you, Doctor.
You can open the blinds now, Flash.
Yes.
And to think that Ernst was able to pull the wool over our eyes that way.
What became of the real Dr. Draper?
He's in the hospital, very critically injured.
Well, I owe you an apology, Ken. Forget it.
I just thought of something. Ernst knows all about the location of the meteorite.
By Jove, she's right. But what can we do about it?
I suggest you and I take this film over to police headquarters. After they've seen it and heard all the facts, they'll figure out some way to help us.
That's a good idea, Ken. You don't mind waiting here till we get back to you?
Not in the least. I have loads of work to do on your books, so go ahead.
Ernst, that must be Nordik.
You sent for me, boss? Yes, we'll need that ape tonight to get that robot out of the Bainbridge laboratories.
Why don't we walk him over like we did before?
Because Arnold no doubt has removed the Metalogen disc and it won't operate without that.
I follow you. Now, I suppose you want me to take him to the tunnel sewer.
That's right. But be sure not to use the entrance leading out of the paint factory. I'm positive the police have set a trap there. You know how you come in on this, Flint?
I know what to do.
Remember, no more slip-ups. Will the Metalogen Man prove a fiendish device for a novel murder? Will Ken Morgan be able to forestall impending disaster? Don't fail to see Death in the Dark, the 8th exciting episode of The Monster and the Ape, at this theater next week. With the aid of a motion picture, Ken Morgan and Professor Arnold learn that Dr. Draper is actually the treacherous Ernst. They go to the police, leaving Babs alone in the laboratory, when suddenly...
Come on, Thor.
While you're moving the robot, I'll go down to the vault and get the Metalogen disc. Ernst gave me the combination.
Go ahead, but make it snappy. I don't like hanging around here. Oh. No, Thor, no. No, pick it up. Pick it up. Up, Thor, up.
I got the disc.
Good. Help me get this contraption into the truck.
Babs, what is it?
The gorilla's trying to choke me.
What?
The Metalogen Man is gone.
You better take a look in the vault, Ken. They may have taken the Metalogen disc, too. You feel better now?
Just as you suspected, the disc is gone.
Well, this means that all our efforts have been useless.
Not only that, with the robot in Ernst's possession, anything can happen.
Let's hope they try to hide it in that paint factory.
Ernst is too smart for that. He'll have some other angle which none of us have thought of.
You're right. There's only one way to handle this. Police.
Get back, Thor. Get back. Back, Thor. Back. Back. Get back, Thor. Get back. Push, Thor. Push. Push. Stay there, Thor. Stay there. Get back. Stay there.
That thing.
Don't you know this is Ernst's famous Metalogen Man?
Bring it back here.
Calling all cars. Calling all cars. Be on the lookout for a dark panel truck. No license number. Make unknown. It is believed to be manned by a couple of armed men and is supposedly transporting a gigantic ape. Car 712. Proceed at once to the municipal zoo. The possibility exists that the famous gorilla Thor may have been removed from his cage there.
Nora, I'm taking a chance by using this telephone, but it's urgent. Is Nordik there yet?
Hold the line. Nordik, boss is on the phone. He says it's urgent.
I'll be right there. What's on your mind, Professor? They are? Well, I'll get started right away. What about the robot? We haven't got him in the tunnel yet. I'll take care of him from this end. You rush over here with that ape. No, you can't take him back to the zoo, unless you want to run smack into the police. I got you, boss.
I've got to leave. You stay here till I get back.
After that, everything suddenly went black. The next thing I knew, Dad and Mr. Morgan had returned.
Did you get a look at any of the men?
Yes, one. I believe I'd recognize him if I ever saw him again.
Well, that's fine, Miss Arnold. Now, I think I'd better take a run out to the zoo. Mind if I go along, Inspector? Not at all. Come along.
Come on, Thor. Easy, boy. That's the boy. Thor. Get away, get away. Get away, Thor, get away. Get back, get back. I'll sure be on the spot when they find out that ape's gone. Not if you're smart. How do you figure that? Go through the secret entrance of the cage. Open the iron gate, take away the lock and chain. They'll think Thor got away by his own cunning. That's a good idea.
Looking for someone?
There's a gorilla wandering around loose in the west end of town. We've got orders to investigate if Thor got out of his cage.
As far as I know, that ape's in his cage sound asleep right now.
That may be the inspector now. We'd better wait and see.
Good evening, Inspector.
We were just going in to check up on that gorilla.
Oh, you men wait here. Mr. Morgan and I will go in and have a look.
This is a gorilla's cage.
Well, he's gone. He took the lock and chain with him.
You'd better not overlook the fact that someone might have let him out, but wants us to believe that he escaped by himself.
Sure you didn't see anyone take that gorilla out of here tonight?
Positive. There's no way out of this to do except by the front gate. Unless he climbed over that fence back there.
Well, I guess that's about all we can do tonight.
Wait a minute, Inspector. I think you'll be all right now. Thor, come on. Thor. Thor, come on.
Hold it shut till I get a lock and chain, will you?
Wait a minute. I have an idea. Instead of keeping him in here, why don't we lock him up in the city jail?
What good'll that do?
Don't you see? You'll have him in safekeeping while I put out a rumor that the ape is being kept at the Bainbridge Laboratory. This will attract the attention of the culprits, who undoubtedly will try to get him back. That's when you'll take over.
Oh, I get it. And I must admit it's an excellent bit of strategy.
Thor, come on. Take it easy. Thor, come on.
I thought you might be interested in this article. It says the police found the ape last night and are holding him at the Bainbridge Lab.
It looks like a trap to me.
I believe it's worthwhile looking into.
If it'll make you happy, go ahead. But first you'll have to drive over to Nora's place and see Flint. Tell him to open the door of the tunnel so that I can move the robot in there for the time being.
Okay, Professor. And if Flint wants to come for the ride, I'll take him along when I case Arnold's lab.
About time someone came here to relieve me.
Open the door of that tunnel so Ernst can make the Metalogen Man walk in there. Come with me. Ernst wants us to do a little errand for him. We'll take this ladder up just in case.
Where are we going?
To the Bainbridge Lab.
That's Arnold's daughter. We better beat it before she recognizes me and calls the cops.
Right.
Follow that car.
Drive around the corner and park the car. Arnold's daughter's outside. If she comes here, show her upstairs and make her comfortable.
Go back to the Bainbridge laboratory and tell Mr. Ken Morgan to come over here right away. How do you do? Have you any vacancies here?
I got one upstairs room.
May I see it?
Sure.
I'm afraid this won't do. Hey!
Lady sent for me to meet her here.
You must have come to the wrong place. Help! Help! Stay right where you are.
And his daughter succeed in their ingenious plan to recover the Metalogen Man? Will Ernst's hirelings find what they're searching for? Don't fail to see The Secret Tunnel, the 9th exciting episode of The Monster and the Ape, at this theater next week. The Metalogen Man has been stolen. Babs trails Ernst's henchmen to one of their hideouts, where she's made a captive. Ken Morgan attempts to rescue her when suddenly...
A young lady sent for me to meet her here.
You must have come to the wrong place. Help! Help! Stay right where you are.
Up there. Give me a hand out of here. Thanks for the lift, boys.
She was just climbing out the window when I nabbed her. Come on, sweetheart, I'm taking you in.
Ken! 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 Ken!
Stand back. We're going to break down the door. Babs, are you all right?
Yes, but am I glad to see you?
I called the police as soon as I got your message. Thanks to them, I'm all in one piece.
I think we'd better take a look in the rest of these rooms. If you need us, holler.
Fine. Did you find out anything here?
No, I no sooner stepped in this house when that woman locked me in here.
Looks like a draftsman or an engineer lived here.
There's no one upstairs.
Same down here. I guess we better get back to headquarters and send some detectives over and give this place a double O.
Let's go.
What is it?
It's a map of some sort. It's labeled overlay, numbered 9876. Rooming house undoubtedly means the place we're in right now. The location of the garage is clear enough, but I can't figure out what they have to do with the sewer tunnel. We'd better get back to the lab. Your father will be worried about you. I'll take this along with us. The only thing I can't figure out is what they mean by triangulate to find point of contact.
What do you make of it, Dad?
No more than Ken has already figured out, my dear. Is this map all you found at the rooming house?
All that could be of any interest to us.
Well, sooner or later, we may find out what has become of our Metalogen Man.
I hope the police find a clue soon.
I certainly hope we recover it again before long. In the hands of such an unscrupulous man as Ernst, could become a definite menace to society.
You're quite right, my dear.
Obviously, this is a key to something which Ernst or someone connected with him has taken great pains to conceal. If I could only find out what they mean by point of contact.
What's the triangle for?
I wanted to see what an equilateral triangle will show if I use the 2 points marked X for a base.
Does it show you anything?
No, it doesn't.
Do you think Morgan might have found the overlay map in your room?
Well, come to think of it, he might have.
That's bad.
Why? That map won't tell him anything.
Don't be too sure about that. There are 2 crosses on his map, the same as on this one. They about locations. One he already knows, the rooming house.
And the other, Flint's repair shop. I follow you. You're afraid he might go there next.
That's exactly right. But when he gets there, you and Flint know what to do.
Have you seen Ken Morgan snooping around this neighborhood?
No. But what makes you think he'll come here?
He found one of our maps.
You think he'll call the cops?
No, I don't. But the boss figures Morgan will do a little investigating before calling the police.
I get it. And Ernst sent you here so we could give him a rousing welcome.
That's the idea. drive his car in there while I tie him up. Leave your motor running.
I'm beginning to worry, Dad. Ken at least should have telephoned by now. Don't you think we should go to that place on Clooney Street and make sure he's all right?
No, my dear. I think the best thing we can do is to be patient. Our going over there might only interfere.
Maybe so. But it's awfully hard to sit here waiting.
We'll come back a little later on time. It looked like he's careless. That's it.
Flash.
Yes?
Come here a minute. I want you to saw this board right across this line I've marked.
Yes. I sure will, Professor. When it comes to working on invention, that's right in my line, sir.
Yes, well, you just work on the board.
Yes.
What did you find out?
Only that I've been a dope for not realizing what any 5-year-old child could have figured out. Will you hold that, Professor?
Yeah, I've got it.
Have you got a compass handy?
Here you are.
Now look, we already know that this X indicates the rooming house, and this X marking a repair shop on Clooney Street is only another point for the triangulation.
Yes, but what is that triangulation? Did you find that out?
Yes, accidentally. Now, by placing the compass here, I draw a complete circle in this manner. Thus, at one point, the circumference of the circle passes over the line marked sewer.
But what does that show you?
Well, don't you see, my dear, what the map calls triangular for point of contact means the point where the circumference of the circle passes over the line marked sewer tunnel. Am I right, Ken?
Absolutely. And you know what that means? That point is the empty paint factory.
You don't say. Paint factory. Just think of it. How come I done a thing like that? Must have been a saw.
Don't worry, Flash. It was only a cheap table.
Yes.
Wait a minute, Ken. Isn't the paint factory near where you believe the meteorite is located?
Absolutely.
Now it all becomes clear to me. Undoubtedly, Ernst is using that factory as a base of operations. I wouldn't even be surprised if we found our Metalogen Man concealed there someplace.
Could be.
Well, that's settled.
Wait a minute. Who are you going to call?
The police, of course.
I wouldn't do that. Not until I've had another chance to take a look at that factory.
Ken, you're not going there alone.
All right, I'll take Flash with me.
Who, me? Oh, no, not me, Mr. Kane. I got too much work to do around here.
You know I ain't no coward, Mr. Kent. I was just timid.
All you have to do is sit in the car with this gun in your hand and keep your eyes open. Nothing will happen.
I sure hope you're right, Mr. Kent. I may be here when it starts, but I positively won't be here when it ends.
Take it easy, Flash.
Just as soon as we get the dynamite in these holes.
Right.
Better get around the curve now. We're ready to let her go.
Okay. As soon as that robot gets the car loaded, I'll have him push it out of there. Then you can set off your charge. Look. Ken Morgan just came into the tunnel.
fix him, but good. Now, let her go.
Has Professor Arnold solved the mystery of the magic metal? What new terrors will Thor the ape bring about? Don't fail to see 40,000 Volts, the 10th exciting episode of The Monster and the Ape, at this theater next week. Ken Morgan trails Professor Ernst hirelings to a deserted sewer tunnel where he discovers the stolen Metalogen Man, when suddenly...
Look. Ken Morgan just came into the tunnel. Fix him, but good. Now, let her go. Deader than a fish. I wonder if Morgan regained his senses and disconnected the Metalogen disc.
Well, let's take a look and find out.
How are we going to get out of here? This tunnel comes to a dead end back there.
There's only one thing to do. Start digging.
Okay.
Don't take another step, mister. I'll blast you with this long-range artillery.
Flash, wake up, wake up.
What you trying to do, Mr. Kent? Shoot me with my own gun?
Snap out of it and let's get going. I've got to phone the police.
Phone the police for what?
Robot's in a tunnel down there under the building. I want them to guard it until we can get it to the laboratory.
Just as I figured. Morgan took the disc. Now this thing's useless to us.
Let's leave it here then.
Not in your life. The boss would be sore as a boil if we left it here. Now you two bring it along. We'll get it out of here through the basement of the rooming house.
I'll bring it on up these stairs. This is how we get down into the tunnel.
Lead on, McDuff. We'll follow you.
Put it in Nora's room. After it gets dark, we'll take it out the back way.
It's gone.
You sure that's the place?
I'm positive. One sure thing, they couldn't have gone very far carrying that robot with them.
Well, they must have gone that way. Let's hurry in. Maybe we can overtake them.
This looks like the end of the line.
This is a dead end, all right, but how did they manage to get out?
Well, maybe they didn't come this way at all. Don't forget that hole that was dug through the barricade.
Maybe you're right. We'd better investigate.
Just put it down over here till I found out what Professor Ernst wants to do with it.
Don't you know enough to close that door?
Flint and Butler's still out there.
Did you get the meteorite?
No, not yet. We did a lot of blasting, but if it's there as you believe, it must be buried pretty deep underground.
We left the robot out in the lab. Is that all right with you?
What did you do that for? I told you to leave it in the tunnel until you finish the job.
That's right. But you see, we had a little bad luck. We can't use that tunnel anymore.
How do you figure that out? It didn't cave in, did it?
No, but just as we got ready for another blast, Morgan suddenly appeared.
You incompetent fools. And you have nerve enough to stand there and tell me that one man scared the three of you out of your wits.
He didn't scare any of us. We just maneuvered him into the right position and set off the blast.
Well, that's different. You mean you were finally successful in eliminating Mr. Morgan?
Well, it looked that way for a while. But later we found out that he got away somehow and even took the Metalogen disc off the robot.
I should have known better than to trust any of you. All I can do now is figure out another angle.
What about those samples of rock I brought over yesterday?
They are not of meteoric origin.
You mean there's no Metalogen in the tunnel?
I didn't say that.
But you just...
If you let me do the talking and the thinking, we'll get along much faster.
Sorry, boss.
I'm still convinced there's meteorite buried near that tunnel. It'll take a lot of time and effort to get it out.
But after the way things turned out today, it's going to be mighty tough to do any more digging.
That's true. We daren't even risk going near the place.
Then what can we do?
Simply lie low and let Morgan and Arnold to get out for us.
Then we take it away from them, huh, Professor?
Something like that. Now, give me time to think. I'll figure out another angle.
You haven't been to the paint factory all this time, Ken.
They aren't in the tunnel beneath.
The sewer tunnel? Metalogen disc. How'd you get that back?
I tried to get the Metalogen Man, too, but Ernst's men got away with it when I went to phone the police.
Well, at least we know that Ernst can't operate the robot now.
Would you like to know what he was using it for?
Yes, of course.
To dig rock out of the tunnel.
Is this a specimen of that rock?
Yes, I brought it over here to see if it contained any meteoric substance.
Well, the first thing in the morning, I'll take it to an assay laboratory and have it analyzed.
In the meantime, I suggest you find a safe place for that disc.
You can rest assured I will.
Oh, Ken, I almost forgot. Inspector Hamilton called, and he's very anxious to talk to you.
Yes, I think I know what's bothering him.
You mean the gorilla?
Sure. He's probably upsetting their jail routine, and the inspector wants to get rid of him.
Well, you really can't blame him for that.
I'd better go over and pacify him. on, big boy. Show us which way to go.
You ask me, the only place she'll take you to is a zoo.
Don't forget, somebody trained this ape. And I believe that person is mixed up with Professor Ernst.
So you figure on making a homing pigeon out of a gorilla, huh?
Roughly speaking, that's the idea.
Well, at least it's worth a try.
Come on, Thor. Well, that was certainly a waste of time.
And a long walk. My feet are killing me.
I thought I had a good idea, but it turned awful sour.
Well, I guess we may as well just lock him in his cage.
That's all we can do. See if you can wake up the night watchman.
Get down out there, Thor. Get out.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Thor! Come on. Come on! Thor! Thor!
Hey, what's going on out there?
Come on, open up. We're the police.
I'm just making my rounds.
Come on.
Well. So you're bringing Thor home, huh?
Yeah, where's his keeper?
Well, see, you know, it's a funny thing about that. I ain't seen hide to hire that fella since the day this ape escaped. He figured he'd get canned for being careless, so he just ups and quits.
Now, let's put Thor back in his cage and make sure he's safely locked up this time.
The sooner we get him off our hands, the better.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll get a lock and chain, and I'll bring you right over to the cage.
Fine. Huh? Thor, come on. Thor. Come on, don't start any more trouble tonight. Thor, come on. Thor, come on.
Friendly little chap, isn't he?
How many keys are there to that lock?
Only one. And from now on, anybody that borrows it's going to bring it right straight back to me.
See that they do, or you may have to do some explaining to police headquarters.
Well, good night, and thanks for bringing Thor back.
Good night. Hey, wait a minute. I've got an idea.
Listen, Morgan, if you're going to ask us to get that ape out of his cage again, forget it.
No, nothing like that. I just happen to remember. Ernst's house lies right over this hill behind the zoo. As long as we're in the neighborhood, why don't we drop in and see if anything's stirring?
Our men check from time to time. They've never found anybody near the place.
We may as well take a look at it.
It suits me.
Well, this is the place. Murray, you'd better take a look around the grounds.
Okay.
We got a pass key that might fit this lock?
I might have.
You wait here in case anyone comes. If I don't come out in a short time, you come in and find out why.
You can depend on that.
That must be the signal from the hallway.
Sure, somebody's in the house.
Better close that door. No, wait. Let's prepare a fitting reception for our guest. The cops are coming. We'll finish Morgan once and for all. Throw the switch on that control panel.
Will Ernst succeed in obtaining the Metalogen Man by trickery? Will the snarling, menacing ape break loose again to wreak his vengeance? Don't fail to see The Mad Professor, the 11th exciting episode of The Monster and the Ape, at this theater next week.
When I'm with him, cares fade away. I'm just a poor Cinderella, but I'll be a princess someday. Cinderella!
Get ready for the ball. Hurry up, give a hell of a rush. Can't you see that we are rushing? Hurry up, go get my bus. You're too slow, why don't you
I hope you enjoyed the ball. Nobody loves me.
Cinderella. Pretty Cinderella, you're unhappy, I can see. I'm your fairy godmother, listen to me. Dry your little eyes, there is no need to cry at all. You're so kind and gentle, you'll go to the ball. Go fetch me a pumpkin, a large one, my dear. 6 mice and 2 lizards, and bring them right here.
Oh, here they are. Oh. Here they are.
You can never be half as happy as we. I'm so overjoyed to be with you, and this is why I was almost cut up for pumpkin pie. Lady?
Oh. Ooh.
Remember, when the clock strikes 12, you must be home by then. For should you fail to be in bed, you'll be in rags again. Remember, remember, remember.
Oh. When I'm with him, can't fade away.
They call her poor Cinderella,
but I'll be a princess someday.
Silence! Who was that beautiful maiden? Have you no tongues? Then I, the prince, do now declare, whosoever this slipper can wear, my throne will share.
My fault, well, you impudent thing.
Oh, shut up, you jealous fool. How dare you? For 2 pence, I'd slap your face. Oh, you will, will you? Yes, I will. What are you going to do about it?
I see you somewhere in dreamland, somewhere in dreamland
I wonder where those children went.
Poor little children.
I know where they live. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
children.
Give me a kiss. Me too.
Supper's ready.
Daisy. I'm gonna joke. I'm still hungry, Ma. Oh, that's all right. I was only fooling.
Good night.
I'll see you somewhere in dreamland, somewhere in dreamland tonight. Over a bridge made of moonbeams, we'll find the clouds are silver light. Each little star is a castle, shining a welcome so bright. Dreams will come true for me and you, somewhere in dreamland tonight.
I'll see you somewhere in dreamland, somewhere in dreamland tonight. Over a bridge made of moonbeams, the clouds we'll find our silver line. Each little star is a castle, shining a welcome so bright. Dreams will come true for me and you, somewhere in dreamland tonight.
I'll see you somewhere in dreamland, somewhere in dreamland tonight. Dreams will come true for me and you, somewhere in dreamland tonight.
Ice cream cone, chocolate and vanilla. Only vanilla, I like strawberry. I like chocolate. Come on in, down this way. That's for you, Mommy. That's for me. Come on. What is that? Oh, that's cake. And candy. I want some candy, right? Boy, oh boy, we got fun. Yeah.
I'll see you somewhere in dreamland, somewhere in dreamland tonight. Over a bridge made of moonbeams, we'll find what clouds of silver line. Each little star is a shining a welcome so bright. Dreams will come true for me.
Time to get up. Get up, children. Huh?
All for you, yes.
For us?
For you, yes.
Ouch!
Hello, and that was chapters 6 through 10 of Don's Breakfast Cereal Show, showing the monster and the ape. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you stay safe at home, and when you go out, make sure you wear a mask. Thanks again for showing up. Thank you. Good night.